just want to say, he's a great guy for being up here. I forgot to mention that there are no scripts and no notes allowed in today's story. I'm not holding that against him. He's a great guy. He put his name in the hat, so we're going to let him do it. He's brave enough to put his stuff down. He's going to go for it, so let's support him. Let's do it.
Last year about this time. Today is Thursday, and it brings back memories. It started about this time last Thursday, I should say, last year this Thursday, whereby basically sort of a shy, reserved, let's say bookish intellectual type that doesn't get out much, that is, in a sense, feel cruising to meetup.com, looking for people, seeking for people to connect with, and a desperate, in a sense, effort it has been. Anyways, I had, in October of last year, gone to a walking meetup. In other words, people gather in a particular town. Perhaps they, since visit area parks, perhaps they, since go through interesting architectural neighborhoods, if you will, and they converse with each other. And what's rather good about it for me is the fact that I can look away, look straight ahead. I don't have to make eye contact. In a sense, saddle up with someone and have them share their worlds, and if I can, instance, carry away an improved skill set for so doing, a good thing. Anyways, what befell me? What broke my heart? Well, I've gone to a particular meetup whereby I had, in a sense, had occasion to meet a couple, and the woman that was part of this couple was a year younger than myself. She had a PhD degree in sociology. My chosen topic, we found that we could speak about, for instance, our topic, our authors, multiple books written by those authors. And I found this a mind-bending experience and felt terribly defeated because this person was, of course, part of a functioning couple, whereas I was not. Anyhow, sort of, in a sense, entertaining illicit joy for having found such a person, at least for a moment, I returned to the very same meetup, whereas the same couple had returned to this meetup. Anyhow, the meetup organizer, in a sense, took an interest in, like, with regards to, in a sense, this other couple, you two are a man and wife, are you not? And with regards to myself, I thought a bit uncomfortable because it seemed that she was very comfortable talking to me and sidling up to me. Anyways, flurry of messages continues back and forth across the fall and into the winter, and it's revealed that, my goodness, I am basically being courted and perhaps being identified, if you will, as material for, how do I say, recreation and not marriage. Having experienced profound defeat again and again in my, in a sense, late blooming awareness of what I'll term, in a sense, sometimes I term it late onset heterosexuality. What else can I call it? I decided that I had suffered so many defeats in my life that this was a doorway that I had to pass through. And so I did, not knowing at all what it is that it would entail, presuming that there, yes, there would be a physical component to it, but not knowing to what extent. Anyways, I was identified, if you will, in a tractor beam sense, all the institutions projected onto me that I would be the blue-collar rogue intellectual, that if he wasn't reading, if he wasn't writing, he was just imagining what he would do. Oh, goodness. Weeks and weeks of debauchery followed. Thursday was my day. Indeed, Thursday is my day today, and this is year on, of course. But then, so was the occasional Saturday. There were the instance telephone calls on a Monday morning, not so much a Monday morning, Monday evening, a Tuesday evening, whereby debauchery to be planned for later and to be acted upon later would be plotted out. My goodness, then there would be, in essence, the sudden visits, the calls, the, in essence, avowed need to see me. This was altogether overwhelming, perhaps too much for me to handle. I was dared to, in a sense, look into my vertical file of, in a sense, racy thoughts and wild ambitions, only to find that there was nothing in that file. People here, a particular delivery, they pick up on certain, let's say, sophisticated tastes, but they do not suspect that I'm nothing. My heavens, it was very difficult. Anyways, eventually I was entrusted to read, and since her academic material, basically her output, and materials that would posit where it is that she could go in a research sense. And to my great dismay and great sadness, it seemed very much as though her application to her particular instance academic endeavor, namely sociology, spoke of how it is that, in a sense, teens working within unsupervised circumstances, let's say people that would be students that would be, in a sense, picking up a few hours. My goodness, basically she was masking, in a sense, a tragedy suffered in her teen years, basically the trauma, probably a sexual assault. And I was basically called upon to root for her, but to somehow look beyond what was mass tragedy. I tried to afford her right feedback, and that was not what she wanted to get. And that is a sadness that